Hi everybody, this is week 2 of the I Made This from Cattails Country Florist. Now this one is a little different because you're going to get a mug, a smiley face mug, Oasis. Now I've just got this Oasis set in here. When you receive it, it'll be in there a little tighter than this. But this is the way that you start. You start with the smiley face facing you. You're going to get greens again. You're going to get some baby's breath. You're going to get 3 red carnations. And then on this one, you're going to get one stem. It's actually one stem of daisies for lavender, yellow, and white. However, there's a bunch of blooms on a stem, which will be plenty. And you get 2 Alstroemeria. So we're going to start with our greens. Now this is where it gets a little more tricky. The first week we just kind of fanned them around. This one you kind of got to be a little more creative. So if you're looking at the greens like this, you can see you're not going to need all these greens for this vase. So you start to pull some of them off the bottom and you'll get some pieces like this. And what I do is I take this and I start to go around the base of the arrangement, starting to stick it in like that. And then I don't want to use all of the top of that because that's going to be a good piece for once we get toward the end. So I'll go through each 4 or 5 pieces of my leather leaf, the greens, and then I'll start to do this all the way around using the bottom half of the big piece of green. Alright, so you see I got kind of 4 pieces going around there. And then I'm going to take another one off of a few of them and kind of see how I split in between these two. I'm going to split in between here and I'm going to split in between here just to get the greens kind of all the way around the bottom. The good thing about the greens is you can always go back in and you can fill in holes where you don't see the Oasis. You don't want to see your Oasis. It just doesn't look good when you can see that. So again, I'm going to pull another piece off this one and you just slowly stick it in. So you got a kind of a base right there. And then you can take 2 of your top of the trees or the greens like this. You got 2 top pieces. You can put one this way of the smiley face and then you turn the smiley face around and put one to back it up like that. So you've actually got that right there. And again, like I did last week, I think that's too much height. So I'm going to take off a section. And you'll see what I mean when I get done. And then I'm going to put back to back in the middle of the Oasis. And there you go. You can see it looks like a little tree. And then this is where it becomes a little easier. You just kind of come in and you fill in the spots with the remaining part of your greens. You can break them up. Like this one was, remember this had all of the stuff at the bottom, now it's just got the little top piece. So I'm just going to take it, and you can even take the piece once it looks like this and just stick in there. You're just using this to kind of somewhat cover up the Oasis. And you just keep going around. You got a big piece here, so this is still a pretty good sized piece. So I'm going to top it off, take the top piece, and just stick that in there. And then I'm just going to break this in 3 more pieces and stick it around. And again, once you start to put your flowers in, you're still, if you can see, you're still going to be able to see your Oasis, your greens. But the good thing is you can always come back with some of these little pieces and fill that in. So again, we're going to start with the bigger flowers. And so I'm going to start with the carnations. And this is kind of a similar thing. I've got the face facing this way. So I'm going to put this at the top of his head, the top of the greens. So I got one piece straight up, and again, almost like that sunrise. I'm going to do a little sunrise. or sunset, whatever you want to call it. And then you've got that where it goes a little sunset. Then I'm going to come back again, kind of like we did with the vase the week before. If you didn't do this the week before, you're going to wonder what I'm talking about. But we got the Austrameria next. And I'm going to split the carnations. I'm going to split these two carnations. I'll put one in the back of the head, and then literally one right above his two eyes. So now you got the circle going there, and you kind of really got your shape forming in. And then you can just pick whatever color you want to start with. I'm going to start with yellow. So again, long laterals. So I'm going to break these off. These are great daisies for designers. Love them when they come like that for this type of arrangement. All right, and let me grab some scissors. As a designer, I have a really bad habit of breaking things with my fingernails. It's not the way it's taught, but once you've done it for years, you kind of come up with quick ways to do things. But you should use scissors. So I'm going to take the scissors, give it a fresh cut, and I'm going to go right there. And I'm just going to split kind of all the way around the arrangement. You don't want to bunch just one color up in one place. And I took that was one stem of daisies that I spread out like that. Now I'm going to take my lavender colored daisy. I'm going to cut the bottom off here, the bottom off here, and this one here. These are the laterals aren't as long, so let's see what we can do with that once we get going. And then the same thing, just go kind of all the way around. This is where you kind of use your creativity to kind of spread out your colors. And you can see that's kind of what I'm doing. And then these two little guys, since that's so short, I'm going to keep those stuck together and just maybe stick them up here. Try to hide it under here, under that carnation. So you can see it's just coming together. And again, with the white, we have real long laterals, so we'll be able to cut all of these off of the actual stem. Same situation, just spreading it around, spreading your color around. And when you're putting stuff in Oasis, the way I was taught is you stick it in to the Oasis a little bit and then pull it up a little bit. And that way when the water is in the bottom of the container, it sucks up into the little gap that you've left with the Oasis. So put it in, pull it up just a hair. Now we're going to put some more white in here. Some more white in here. Some daisies have more blooms than others, so don't get caught up in numbers. If you're like my wife, that would drive her crazy because she likes to have even numbers. But this works out perfect. Now these, sometimes flowers have imperfections, like that. And what we try to do here, especially when we're doing designs for people, is pull out any of the imperfections. So you see we now have the shape. Now I'm looking at that and feel like that is out just a little further than it should be. Maybe my OCD. So I'm going to put it in some, and now it just feels better. So you can see you got the smiley face. I'm still looking at the front. Now we're going to come in and fill in with the baby's breath. Now this is the same situation. You just want to fill areas that and spread it around. So this, you just take in all different areas, and this is kind of really just done by look. Again, I'm breaking it with my fingernail. Not what I suggest to do. Use your scissors. If you took a floral design class for real, they would give you an F for that. But I've been doing it for a long time. So this is just adding it in, all the different spots. And this again is one of the things that you'll do basically by looks. As you can see, I use pretty much every bit other than all of the baby's breath of the flowers that you get in your packet this time. A little bit of greens left, so you can kind of go back and look around and see if there's spots that you need to fill in. But there you have, I found a broken piece of leather, so I'm going to fix it. This week's flower design, and you want to water it, keep water in it, make sure that the water that they're always drinking. And this is pretty cool. This is a little smiley mug. We all need some smiles today. Hopefully we're going to get through all this nightmare together, and I hope you and your family have a really good time putting this thing together. Give it a name. Make him happy. Peace. Tim the Tulip Man, Cattails Country Florist.